Alright, so this is my first league match against Daniel Lazaro. I'm on the right, I'm playing Hermit Druid. I'll have to bring up my list now. Here's my deck, Hermit Druid. I've been playing this deck for a good 2 years now. I won a Mox Sapphire with it, and afterwards they slapped like 6 points on it. I'm using tappedout.net to display the deck. It's a pretty sweet website. It even gives you like a little curve graph over here and color ratio chart. I'll just go through the deck in terms of categories of cards to make it simple. 5C mana base, 26 lands. Got a Tarnished Citadel even, that gives you an indication of how hardcore 5 color the deck is. Now the combo is you either get a Hermit Druid, and I've got no basics in my deck so you can mill your whole library, or you can use, if he gets exiled, you can go for the Cephalid Illusionist plus an Encore guy. The Illusionist mills 3 cards from your library into your graveyard every time he's targeted, and these Encore guys, the little white fellas down here, they can use their 0 cost ability to target the Illusionist as many times as you want, so mill your whole library. And then once you've done that, you can cast Dread of Turn, and you'll need a Narcomoeba, maybe a couple Unearth guys, Fate Stitcher and Dregscape, to get up to 3 dudes to sack to the Dread of Turn. And the kill is Mimeoplasm copying Redcap, so you can shoot him to the face with massive chunks of damage from Lord of Extinction. Deck's got like 12 tutors, so it's pretty consistent as far as Highlander decks go. That's like the biggest thing it's got going for it, really. Pretty consistent turn 3 or 4 kill. And with the 12 tutors, you can chuck in a bit of anti-hate to get back Hermit Druid if it gets messed up with, so it's got Postmortem Lunge, it's pretty cool, probably the only time it ever gets played. Reanimate, Shallow Graves in here somewhere under Instance, and you can shoot it for like Pride Mage if they have, I don't know, a control magic on your Hermit Druid or Pithing Needle, and you can also get Sting Scourger. He's added recently because like Deathrite Shaman and Scavenging Ooze are getting pretty big, even Glenalendra Archmage or like a huge reanimated Iona or something like that. Sideboard, Chaos Warp against like Blood Moon effects. Because I can, I'm playing Fairy Macabre and Surgical Extraction just against like the faster reanimated decks. Got some Anti-Burn, Invigorate, and these obscure free to cast white spells. You'll probably have to look them up after the fact. Rhystic Tutor against tap out decks. Lab Maniac, bit of anti-graveyard hate in the board, and some other stuff. Yeah, so that's the deck, and you'll see more of it during these games. So here's Daniel's deck. I got his deck list after the match, obviously. I'll just go through Daniel's deck piece by piece. He adapted it from Lachlan Wardsmith's Bant deck, which I posted in one of my articles. I think he just added black. Lachlan Wardsmith's deck was a bit outdated, as in like printed a while ago. Right, so with his lands, 4 color mana base, plenty of fetch lands, which helps out with Deathrite Shaman, which is added. He's got a Mox in there, there's 3 of his points. You can get some sweet starts with Mox into Bob, obviously. And so at its heart, it's an equipment deck. He's got 4 points in equipment. That's Steel Shaper's Gift, Skull Clamp, Umazawa's Jide, Stoneforge Mystic, and the equipment really helped to turn all your little crappy guys into machines later on in the game. So if he draws his like a green fetch, he can go find Dryad Arbor. Where is it? There it is. And you get it with Green Sun's Zenith on turn 1 for some acceleration, birds, hierarch, etc. Other than that, he's got a Birthing Pod sub-theme, so lots of comes into play guys, and you can blink with Restoration Angel. I like this deck, it's solid. All the cards are just genuinely good by themselves. And in the sideboard, that's a cute little Trapmaker Snare. He's got Mindbreak Trap, Rav Trap. Alright, that sums up his deck. We got the heads up display here, the life totals, These are meant to be the flags of our respective countries. I'll figure out how to work those out later on. All right, drawing opening hand. Daniel wins the die roll on this one. Wisely calls odds. Nice one. Here I am, be an idiot trying to show that. This is 100% proxies the league is, so Daniel's cards are going to be a bit hard to read. Unfortunately, I've only got 3 cameras, one for the faces, one for the overhead, so you can't see the hands very well. But so Daniel led with a fetch here. I'm going to go clicky and change the life totals. Dan leads with Birds of Paradise. I've drawn. Breeding Pool untapped, paying 2 life. I've got Sylvan Tutor here. No doubt I'm going to go find Hermit Druid. There he is. On top he goes, pass the turn, gives it a read. Oh, does it have haste? Nope. Okay. Can't really see his hand because of all his proxies. So, any of my future opponents are watching this, please print off color proxies. Or don't use proxies at all, even better, but I understand otherwise. Alright, he's got some other dual land that I can't read. That's Llanowar Elves. Passes the turn, I untap, Hermie into my hand. Alright, I think I go with the Yav Coast here. It's good to see that the Painlands still get a bit of play. Highland is probably the only place they get played, really. Alright. Has Daniel got the answer? So Dan untaps. Oh, so he had a couple mana open. He didn't cast the counter spell. He draws. What's he got? He's got a Delta, cracks it, down to 17. And at this point, I think he reveals his 4th color, yeah. Dan actually divulges to me before the match that he pretty much just copied the primer list that I put up in an article about the current Highland metagame. But I don't remember during the match considering it, so whether that's honourable or not, I don't know. Batterskull, I'm fine with that. It does nothing against me. Dan, face down magic card as a token. Didn't bring his tokens. Alright, here I go. And now I'm like, sweet. Time to go off. Don't think he could have anything. 4-color deck's not going to have Force of Will. And if your main deck's for a carb, I'd call him a cheater. Here I am, tricking Mimeoplasm on top of my deck. You never know. Might have to cast Shallow Grave for some reason or other. It's not in my hand, but I could have it. Narcomoeva's in. So here I'll pretty much, you'll see the combo here. I play it out just to show the viewers really, like Dan knows he's lost. Alright, I'm always really cautious at this stage with this deck. Like, you never know. Daze is a thing, but I've got 2 mana open, I'm fine. So Therapy just to make sure. I'm pretty sure I named Force of Will here. Only card I could imagine him playing. Misdirection works as well, but that's less likely. And he's got Dix. Okay. I'll take a fair bit of damage from my lands. As you can see, City of Brass, Painland, untapped for shock. Alright, sack the 3 guys to draw to turn. Just showing him the combo. Pointing at his face. Scoop him up, buddy. Alright. Going to sideboard games here. Now, Hermit Druid's a pretty tight deck. Like most of the decks made up of tutors, necessary combo pieces, random anti-hate cards like Pride Mage and Sting Scourger. And there's really only room to board in and out, maybe like 3 cards. Do you like how the tripod legs in the screen? Very professional. This is just the first time I've done a recording off site, so didn't really have the setup down pat. The sound's terrible too. You can't hear us talking because the the mic's up high and there's music in the background, whatever. I'll work on that. Yeah, so this hand was pretty close to a mulligan. Daniel's on the play. I remember my hand being 3 lands, and my tutor is a Dimir Infiltrator, so I'm not tutoring until turn 3. Anyway, my rule with this deck is if I have the tutor, at least 2 lands, I keep. Alright, so here he goes. Bird. No, my memory fails me. Skull Clamp. That's good for me. Slow start for him. Alright, I'll just go with a Bayou. Oh, I've got 2 on play. Okay. Therapy. This is totally blind. I remember, I think I named Path to Exile. He's playing white, so really I just want to see his hand, find out my timing. I can flash it back later and hit something relevant. It's so good when you hit something blind though. Oh man. I think it's definitely the hardest card to play in Highlander, Cabal Therapy. Oh, actually, Goblin Recruiter might be harder, but anyway. He's got a Knight, he's got Liliana, he's got Scavenging Ooze. So I'm not happy to see that Scavenging Ooze. That sucks for me. Because when I try and cast Drift Return after milling my whole library, he can Scavenging Ooze my Drift Return target. And also, if he's got 2 green up, he can activate a second time to respond to my Memory's Journey as well. Anyway, what have I got? I remember I have a red cap in my hand at this stage. Murderous red cap. Alright, just pass the turn. I don't think I have a turn 2 play at this stage. Daniel on taps. Thinking a bunch. Really, I can't go off the following turn unless I have Cephalid Illusionist, Nomad's End Core, which is very unlikely. It's really late at night right now. I just am not tired at all for some reason, but I am hungry. But it's so hot that I don't want to heat anything up. Anyway, what's Daniel going for? Daniel goes for the deck move. Oh, he puts the clamp on the ooze. Oh, that's right. I remember now. Let's pause this. So when he played the ooze, I realized, oh shit, I can't transmute my Dimir Infiltrator to find Hermit Druid, because then he'll be able to eat my Dimir Infiltrator with his Scavenging Ooze, making it a 3/3. So my Murderous Redcap, which is in my hand, won't be able to kill the Scavenging Ooze. But when he equips the Skull Clamp, even if he exiles my Dimir Infiltrator on my turn 3, the ooze will still only have 2 toughness for my red cap to shoot it with. So that's a little quirk of this game. It was pretty cool, I thought. Draw McCurd. Think a bit. Maybe I'm debating whether he would have another removal spell before I ditch this Dimir Infiltrator. No. Tundra, put it down. Yeah, good boy. Transmute. I'm going to find Hermit Druid. He's got no Stifle, which I'm pretty glad about. Or Shadow of Doubt. People always want to play that card, but they always end up cutting it. Holding up 2 mana for it's just too much. Anyway, alright, so he eats my ooze. And he should have eaten my Cabal Therapy as well. I'm pretty sure he had a green land there. Bayou? Yeah, so he just didn't eat my Cabal Therapy. That's a mistake by Daniel. So I can't cast my Hermit next turn. Otherwise he plays Liliana the Veil. Neg 2s it, and I have to sack my Hermit Druid and it gets eaten by the Scavenging Ooze. If my Hermit Druid gets exiled, then I have to go for the Cephalid Illusionist Encore combo. But that'd be way too slow. Idle chit chat, not helping, guys. Bash. Oh, down to 13. Alright. Come on, Lazar. What you got? Another Reliquary. Add some beats. Good plan. Down she comes. Pass the turn. Alright, here I go. Pumping the fist that my red cap kills that ooze. Cast it. So, can't really see the dual lands that well because of the reflection. I've got a Savannah, a Tundra, Underground Sea, a Bayou. Gives you an indication of my mana. Alright, pew pew. Daniel's like, oh shit. Oh, I guess I can exile it now. Wonder if he realised that he could have done it last turn. Or unless he was scared and held up the mana. Anyway, Ooze is gone, I'm happy. He's drawn 2 cards. I don't really care. The Ooze had to die. Like, the Skullclamp trigger is not a factor for me. Yeah, he untaps. It's convenient that the red cap protects my Hermit Druid from the Liliana sacrifice. There's the breeding pool I knew he had. Shockingly, it's not a proxy. Good work, Daniel. Also, I'm sorry if you're listening to this right now. Your proxies are lovely. That's a Mox Emerald. He's got 4 cards in hand, so a few options, really. Thinking. Thoughtseize. Alright. So, I've got Hermit Druid, Rhystic Tutor, and lands. Which is not very good. So now he knows that I have the Rhystic Tutor. He can just hold up 2 mana for the rest of the game, and it just nerfs it. Hermit Druid's in my graveyard, so at this point I have to find a reanimation spell, which is, I have to draw it off the top of my deck. And he puts a Mum down. Don't really care about that, really. Unless he drops another Graveyard Hate dude. What's he got? Aether Sworn Canonist. Canonist, like, can be okay. You can back it up with some other disruption, because I can't cast Dread of Turn and Memory's Journey in the same turn, or Cabal Therapy. I can only cast one of those. But it doesn't stop me, really. Oh, so Daniel makes the mistake here of not keeping up 2 mana. So my Rhystic Tutor is active. It's a pretty big mistake by him. Like, I understand his logic, though. He wants to dig for the removal in case Hermit Druid comes back. But, yeah, he made a mistake. Bashes down with the Knight. I think the Knight's only relatively small at this stage. He probably would have been better just fetching a land with it to grow his Knight. Even Wasteland to mess with my mana a bit. Anyway, I take it. I want to keep my red cap alive so that you can't have 2 removal spells to get to my Hermit Druid when it comes back in. So I'm pretty happy that I can cast this Rhystic Tutor here. I've drawn Memory's Journey, it looks like. You never know. Might be relevant against the Knight. Could shrink it by shuffling his lands back into his library. Alright, land, Rhystic Tutor. Daniel's like, oh damn it, should have left that 2 mana open. And I'm grateful that I don't have to show him what I'm going to find here. He's got the Canonist, so I can't cast what I tutor for immediately. I have to wait to his turn or my turn. I go get Shallowgrave. That card's actually rising in price lately. It's similar to Goya's Vengeance. Alright, Shallowgrave in my hand. Daniel cuts a deck.
Alright, Daniel untaps. I'm preparing to Shallow Grave at the end of his turn. Get back Herbert Druid and go off, hopefully. Daniel wants to beat my face in. What's he got? Single white. Swords to Plowshares. Jeez, that's rough. Okay, so if red cap is exiled, it means that my Mimeoplasm can't become a red cap. So I can't shoot Daniel to the face and win on that turn. So now what I have to do is either win with Laboratory Maniac or like a massive flyer. So Mimeoplasm can copy a flyer and Lord of Extinction can get exiled to make the flyer huge. Anyway, hits for a fair chunk of damage. I go to 5. So my Dimir Infiltrator is exiled. So Narcomoeba, I think, is the only flyer in my deck. So I'm relying on that guy. Or Laboratory Maniac. But Daniel's got enough of a clock that Lab Maniac's probably not going to get there. I think I'm just boned. So Herbert Druid comes back. Shallow Grave says exile at end of turn. And I'm beyond that step right now. So I'll have to exile it at the end of my turn. And by then, he'll be well used. Alright, untap. 5 lands. Here I'm thinking... Why am I thinking? He's got a Canonist. So I'm not going to Memory's Journey him upkeep, otherwise I die at my draw step. That's probably what I was thinking about. Derp, derp. Draw. It's another land. I think I drew a Verdant Catacombs. So only spell I can cast here is Dread Return. I can't cast Therapy or Memory's Journey because of the Canonist. And I have to hope he hasn't got another piece of disruption. Cast it, come on. Oh, I guess I'm thinking about what to get back. So, because he's got Liliana of the Veil in hand, I have to have 2 creatures left over. And for me to survive his next attack, one of them has to be big enough to survive the Canonist attack, because Knight's only a 4-1 at this, a 4-2 at this stage. So I have to bring back Mimeoplasm, but then it won't be able to be a Narcomoeba, because the Narcomoeba has to be the second creature I'm left over with. Just so you know, this is probably my 4th take on this scene, because it was so complicated. Alright, Narcomoeba comes in. So now I have to unearth Fate Stitcher and Dregscape Zombie as my guys to sacrifice, because Herbert Druid's going to get exiled at the end of the turn, so I'm going to sacrifice him as well. There's the Fate Stitcher. No responses from Daniel. Alright. I just untap a land. I can't cast a second spell, so I guess I'm just untapping a land for play around Spell Pierce or Miscalculation. And here's where I fuck up. I sacrifice my Narcomoeba to the Dread Return. So that means that I haven't got a second creature to sacrifice to Liliana of the Veil. So I've just lost. It's a huge mistake by me. I should have unearthed Dregscape as well and left the Narcomoeba in play. Yeah, I've realised my mistake. And I can't get a red cap, can't get Dimir Infiltrator. Derp derp. Alright, looking through, what could I possibly do? I imagine this is going to take me a while to think about it, so the screen might jump to where I cut to the action. Alright, so I'm copying Narcomoeba to make a huge Narcomoeba, so to bash him to death. But it shouldn't matter, he just should make me sacrifice it with his Liliana of the Veil the following turn. He's got a Bayou, And you can just get a second black source with the Knight. That land underneath the breeding pool, I forget what that is. I don't think it's black though. Alright, pass the turn, cross my fingers. I've got no library at this stage, but I've got a Memory's Journey in my hand, so that's okay. I can just cast that in his turn so I don't die to having no library when I go to draw. Alright, Dan just has to cast Liliana and I'm dead. He's thinking a bit. I'm filling with cards. Trying not to... I'm just not scooping. I just generally don't scoop. You never know. I'm clearly communicating what the Mimeoplasm is. I'm probably doing that more for the viewers. I recorded this maybe a week ago, so I've kind of forgotten what my thought processes were at this stage. Alright, so Daniel's had a think. He's going to make a play. No, he's not. He's going to touch his lands. Do you like how his face isn't in the camera? Very professional. I just put those cards away. So just reveal the actual board state. Bashes with Knight. So that's a 4-2. One land in his graveyard. So I have to decide whether he's got the instant speed, put a land into graveyard effect, maybe crop rotation, or that's all I can really think of. Or I can block it and let him draw 2 cards, or take it, go to 1. That's pretty clear that I just take it and go to 1. Oh, he's fucked up. That's right. He's only got 1 black source, the Bayou. So he needed the Knight to get the second black source to cast Liliana. I don't think he realised that he could have got the black source with the Knight. Wow. So I just got lucky. There's the Memory's Journey, so I don't die to my draw step. I think I just get a Lab Maniac and put it on top. Well, there you go, never scoop. Alright, Lab Maniac on top. Daniel gives it a tap. Here I go, untap. Draw. No library once again. Bash with my huge Narcomoeba. In it goes. And it's got flying, so it can't be blocked by the Aetherman, the Canonist. I don't think Daniel realised that the Narcomoeba had flying. It's not often you attack with Narcomoeba, so... And he's dead, I think, yeah. He's got no answer. GG. I win on 1 life. It's always nice winning on 1 life. It doesn't matter if you win by 1 life or 20 life. Winning's winning. Ask any Magic player, any real Magic player. Bam. Alright. Game 3. I'm up 2-0. These are best of 5s, the league matches, which is pretty cool. Alright, we both keep our 7. Daniel's on the play. Leads out with Emerald and Arid Mesa. Man, mock starts are the best. I think that's the greatest thing about Highlander is... Oh, not the greatest thing, but it's one of the awesome things when you go from standard and modern and you come play Highlander and the first time you play with a piece of power and you're just like, damn, so this is what everyone was talking about. Oh, he finds a Bayou, can't find that with Arid Mesa. So he either wanted green or black, so he's going to get Badlands or Savannah. He doesn't play Badlands, he's going to get Savannah. Yeah, he gets a Savannah. Okay. Whew, it's hot. Very hot right now. You might hear me having some swigs of water occasionally. Excuse that, please. Speaking of which... delicious water. Whoa, Deathrite Shaman. That's bad for me. And Dried Militant. Well, Yeah, I'm screwed here. That's a ridiculous start. Drive Militant, replacement effect, exiles my Dread Return and Memory's Journey if I mill my whole library, so it has to. I have to kill it before I mill my whole library. And Deathrite Shaman can respond to Dread Return, which I can get around by casting Memory's Journey on Lab Maniac, but the Deathrite Shaman slows me down at least 2 turns. So I probably have to kill that too. Here I know how screwed I am. I'm thinking what to do. Lead with Marsh Flats. What have I got in hand? I've got a Tundra, Sylvan Tutor, Gamble, Worldly Tutor, Mimeoplasm, Vampiric Tutor, and something else I can't make out. That's a pretty good hand. Probably not as good as Daniel's though. I'm looking pretty dejected, thinking a lot. So for me to win, I need to kill the Dried Militant, either with Redcap or Sting Scourger. So I've passed the turn, so I guess I should VT end of turn. We'll find out. What else has Dan got? Untaps. Thinking. Pick up the Emerald, definitely got a spell. In general, you should never really touch your lands until you definitely know what you're going to play. Alright, drops a Pride Mage. So, bashes in for the Exalty Goodness. 3 damage, I go to 17. So where was I? Yes, so I've only got Tundra in hand, and I've got a bunch of put on top tutors, so Sting Scourger is probably the way I have to go with this to get rid of the Militant for when I go off. But that means I have to cast Sting Scourger, activate Hermit, and cast Memory's Journey all in one turn. So I have to get to 4 mana regardless. So I need lands. He's got Daniel's played a Delta. Here I'm end of turn wondering whether to VT, and I should, finding a land. Thinking I don't go for the land, so that's a misplay by me. I think I'm probably on tilt from my terrible board position, and you should never go on tilt. I'm a bit overwhelmed here. The Australian Open's actually on right now, and I'm going to go see Federer on Friday night if he's playing. He's definitely my favourite player, just because he's so consistent, never tilts, always the same mindset, and that's really inspiring. Actually, it's funny how watching professionals of other games or sports or whatever it may be can actually inspire you in Magic. Alright, so cracking the Marsh Flats. I'm probably going to get... Yeah, I'm getting a Badlands to gamble. And from memory, I gamble for the land. I should have VT for the land last turn. It's interesting, this situation I'm in right now, commentating the match after I've already played it. And I have to choose whether I should pretend that I don't know what's going to happen, which I think is the wrong way to go, but I've done that a few times in this, because it's just patronizing to the listener, really. Like, you know that I know what's going to happen. I should just say what I'm thinking about at this point, and then reveal the decision as it happens, rather than pretending that I didn't know what was going to happen. Unless I genuinely forgot, which can happen. I did record this a week ago. And I find a Bayou with my gamble. Alright. Oh, we rolled a d6 and I have 7 cards. That's what's going on here. So I'm off to get a d8. Daniel takes the swig of water. Good choice. Oh no, I got a d10. Alright. And I hit my Bayou. I don't think it matters at this stage. I'm pretty boned. I suppose I could theoretically draw 2 lands off the top. But no, Daniel's gonna kill me before then. And Attorney cracks Blue to Delta. Gets a Bayou of his own, kind of teasing me that he's got one and I don't, because I went to my graveyard. Cut. Daniel draws. What's he going to slam? Prodes some more pressure. He's got enough disruption as it is. He's got another fetch land, more editing for me. Alright, Daniel finds a tropical island with his wooded foothills. I realise it's hard to tell what they are on cam because they're black and white proxies from Daniel. The proxies versus no proxies argument's pretty interesting. Highlanders are... they're not that popular generally because it's not supported by Wizards. So I think proxies are a good thing initially to build interest in the format, and then once we've got a solid player base, then we could start with banning proxies. So he's got a Sword of Fire and Ice, taps his Deathrite Shaman to cast and equip it. So he's reducing one of his layers of defense, but he's fine. Jeez, alright, that's 8 damage, including the shock from the sword. I'm definitely dead. Draws a card. Sword of Fire and Ice. Alright, so I should scoop here, but I don't scoop, so... Untap, draw. That's an Imperial Recruiter I've just drawn. Yeah, there's the scoop. So much for me not scooping. I think I'm on tilt. Unlike Roger Federer, who never tilts. You know, I'm complaining. Oh, I'm not complaining, just... He had a good hand. So, that's the end of Game 3. I'm up 2-1 currently. Let's go to Game 4. Okay, Game 4. I'm on the play, lead off with Misty Rainforest. My hand is Llanowar Wastes, Cephalid Illusionist, Shaman Encore, nice. Limdol's Vault, and an Eladamri's Call. Okay, pretty good hand. Daniel has Wasteland. He's cracking a Windswept Heath. Alright, Daniel's tutored for a Bayou. I cut the deck methodically. He leads with the birds. Decent start. Alright, my turn. I don't crack into turn to preserve life and keep my options open. I've drawn a... Can't really tell. I really need to buy 2 more cams so I can have some hand cameras working. But until then, I'll just deal. Alright, Llanowar Wastes. I cracked the Misty Rainforest now. So I'm probably going to cast my Shaman Encore first. I always cast the Encore first, so that they have to remove that in response to Cephalid Illusionist. And that way I still have my Nomad Encore, the 1-cost one, in my deck that I can tutor for and still go off with Cephalid Illusionist. I get a Tundra, here's the Shaman. Daniel gives it a read, and I'm just going to pass turn here. Alright, Daniel's turn. He untaps. So Daniel he wants to disrupt me here. Alright, wastes my Tundra. Alright, that's interesting. I can't cast my Illusionist now. I know, I've got Yavimaya Coast in hand, so I can. Alright, what's he got? And he's got a Goyf to add some pressure. So I can't go off this turn, because... Oh, no, I can. Oh no, Narcomoeba. I've drawn the Narcomoeba. Oh, so I can't go off this turn. Because since Narcomoeba is in my hand, I won't be able to get 3 guys to cast Dread Return. So I need the 3rd land to unearth a creature. Or just wait another turn. No, I cast Narcomoeba. And take 1. That's reasonable. I need to get the 3rd creature out. This way I have 1 less mana to work with next turn. So it was probably a mistake. I should have cast the Illusionist and then had 2 mana to work with the following turn rather than 1, but that's okay. I can still cast Memory's Journey if he has some graveyard hate in response to my Dread Return. Daniel's got a Forest. Alright, so that's a Jide in hand. It could be relevant. Daniel's thinking he needs to kill my Shaman or my Cephalid next turn. He's got Deathrite Shaman. That's going to be too slow. It's not a proxy, that one. Alright, 2 more mana. Jide. Yep. Alright, Iron Tap. Draw. That's a Imperial Recruiter that I've drawn. Savannah. Cast my Illusionist, taking 1 from the Yav Coast. And it doesn't matter what I leave up here, as long as I've got green for Memory's Journey. In case you don't know, Shaman and Core has a 0-cost ability that targets. So I can target my Cephalid, and Cephalid mills 3 cards each time it's targeted by an ability or spell. Alright, 3 at a time, carefully. I'm looking for my Cabal Therapy here, I think. I don't need to mill my whole library with Cephalid Illusionist and an Encore. I only have to mill all my pieces. Alright, so I've hit the Therapy. Yep, I'm going to go Therapy him. Sack the Narcomoeba. So I just name Fairy Macabre here, or Ravenous Trap. What's he got? He's got Dix. He's got Jace, a land, and something else. Alright, so I think I have to dig for the final piece, which is a red cap, I believe. No, Dread Return, and red cap. Alright, unearth Dreadscape Zombie for my 3rd creature. And I've won this game. Sack him to Dread Return. That's the match. GG. Alright, this has been our first Highlander League match that I've recorded. Well, I believe I asked Daniel's permission if I could upload this, and I will do so for all my opponents. Hopefully they're all okay with it. And Daniel's a great guy. He doesn't mind if, he's a few player mistakes to put on camera, which is a good way to be. It'll make him better as a player. Some friendly chit chat after the match. Alright, that's the match. GG. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. And I'll hopefully upload my second match pretty soon. Faster than it took me to upload this one. Catch you guys.